Hey, and welcome back. We're now on our second question. And our second question, we'll start with you, Greg, is do black people stereotype themselves? You just keep going from where you were before.
Uh, yeah, in a major way. Now more so than ever. Probably. Actually, definitely. I mean, you can hear it in everything you see, everywhere you go. I mean, even in, I can remember growing up and listening to hip hop, and a lot of it being very positive. It was rough and raw, you know what I'm saying, and very real, but it had a positive element to it. Even with a group like NWA, who had a positive element to it if you really listen to the words and what they were trying to say. Now we basically it's
We've bought
it's incredible the way that we've
bought into the material.
with the way that we bought into all of this. We who have, like I said, they really don't need the Klan anymore. They don't need any of these things anymore. We have tricked ourselves into saying, I am a ghetto, loud, broke ass nigga, and that's all I'm gonna be, and I'm proud of it. That's the message that a lot of us have put out, and it's in the music, it's in everything else. And I mean, and if it's not about being ghetto, loud, ignorant, whatever, and being proud of being ignorant, then it's about doing drugs, selling drugs, knocking somebody up, getting butt. You know what I'm saying? It's not the positive messages are so far and in between, and basically all the role models outside of Barack Obama, who is every time you see him on TV, he's generally getting disrespected by somebody or having his name dragged through the dirt. Outside of Barack Obama, there is no real black role models outside of entertainment and sports. I mean, none that you would really be able to recognize. I mean, I'll say this: none that if you didn't search for that role model, that you could find just looking at your television. There is no more Bill Cosby. You got who? Medea, a dude dressed in a dress.
Wow.
But who do you have? Who is there in mainstream outside of Barack Obama that you can really look at and consider a role model that's not an athlete or an entertainer?
Dwayne?
I mean, I think he pretty much wrapped it up. I mean, I think it's a sad. I think it's a sad state for our communities and what we put so much stock in. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just hurts for us to see on what the generation before us fought to get us to where we're at, and now we're to a point where we just like assume. We just make certain assumptions, like, you know, people have to work and fight and get us to this point, and we just assume it's all good, you know, and that we're not going to continue to have to fight to keep it to at least this standard or better, because, I mean, they're rolling back all types of stuff now, you know, affirmative action, they're attacking that, like you just said during the break. White men think that they're being more discriminated now, and it's like, what? Are you kidding me? I said,
They feel like they're the most discriminated people.
I mean, for them to have,
America.
for that they feel like that to be the case, I say, well, you need come strap on this black skin and drive a car, a nice looking car around anywhere in this country, and see. And I said. That's what discrimination is being about. That's just one of the things. I said, when you can deal with that, then you come cry a river for me. And when I see them say that, I just laugh. I'm like, well
my
man, you couldn't beat me then.
Well,
you couldn't
that
beat me.
is, if you're losing in this game, then who in the hell is winning?
Yeah.
Because it surely ain't us.
Yeah.
It ain't the Mexicans. It ain't the Asians.
Exactly.
It sure as hell ain't the Native Americans.
So
And we can definitely
so don't come crying to me. That's all I'm saying.
Label
I don't
want
want
to people because they're not winning at all in this country right now.
I said, I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Then you need to look at the people that look like you that are treating you so bad that you feel that way. Cause it ain't me doing it to you. It's got to be somebody that look like you that doing it to you. And so then, what does that say to you? You know? I mean, what does that say to you? I mean, I know how they're gonna treat me, but you look like them and they're treating you like that. They're almost treating you like me.
That's the original thing, though. Is yeah, we've. I don't know when it happened. I don't know where it happened. I don't know how it happened. I don't know when it changed from it being cool to be a strong black man to being a nigga. I don't know when it happened. It seems like overnight. It seems like just yesterday we were watching A Different World, a show about black kids going to college. Now what do we got?
They got Meet the Browns and
in comparison to everything else, you'd have to put that on the more positive end.
Exactly. But like,
ashy need Bojangle.
man,
That's what he is. He's a clown.
with that said, let's go to the guy on the couch. How about we do that? Guy on the couch, what you got for us for the second question?
All right, question number 2. Do black people stereotype themselves? This response comes from Niece. She says, yes, we do. The fact that we do it to each other, as with the Jalen Rose and Grant Hill debate, is disheartening. It's bad enough we're stereotyped in the media, by other races, and etc., but to continue to debate issues among each other is a shame. Yes, some struggle more than others, but we share a common ancestry and a common struggle regardless of our financial class. Plus, with the black middle class eroding due to economic changes, we're going to have to learn to live among each other and not judge one another. Back to you.
Very good comment. Yeah, about the Jalen Rose thing, real quick, the Jalen Rose and Grant Hill thing, you can actually find that in the research section, the actual article for that. But based off of that, I mean, like, she had some really good points. What do you draw from like what she said?
I mean, I think it's refreshing to hear that because I mean, I wish more of us who think like that would speak up, so we can understand. Like, you know, we got to try to turn this thing around. You know, I mean, if we don't save ourselves, ain't nobody gonna save ourselves.
Hallelujah.
You know, so I mean, we gotta wake up and hopefully start waking these. I mean, and to me, we gotta go and we gotta get the kids. We gotta change their mindset on how they think about themselves and how they view themselves. Because, man, I work with kids every day, and I see young black males and how they think of themselves. It's like, why do you think of yourself like that?
That's a good question.
Why do you think of yourself like that?
Because
Do you not know?
It's been drilled into them from the beginning.
And I know, but
And if they act any other way, they see what happens. This is basically how it goes down. When you're a kid and you're coming up, it doesn't happen in elementary school too much. Right around when you get into middle school, right around when you start smelling yourself a little bit, you know, trying to figure out who you are. And you got kids that are attempting to do the right thing, and the other kids that just could give a damn.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the separation is right there, because these kids that don't give a damn will ridicule or just be done with all the kids that are doing the right thing, which affects it all. That's where it starts at, and then that will actually drag some of these kids down because they don't want to be known as the lame ass. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to be out of the in crowd. They don't want to not have friends because they're smart, which is a damn shame.
Well, I mean, but everyone has their own crowd.
Yes,
You know what I'm
everyone
saying?
has their own crowd, but we're talking about peer pressure. That's where it all starts with, peer pressure. And if you're black and you act a certain way, they want to put you in this box. And we've created this box along with them. We've put ourselves in this box. And if you're outside of that box, then you don't really have a leg to stand on.
Does being middle class hurt you in this box, or does it help you in this way? And I know it's kind of a generalized question, but
I mean, I guess it's to each who's had to run that path. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I could say yes and no. I mean, I would say yes because there's certain people in the black community that I know, but we ain't gonna really be cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but it's because the philosophy that I have and the philosophy they have just don't mix. You know, and they may call me whatever. But I don't care what they think about me. You know what I'm saying? Because the way I look at it, well, you gonna do what you do, and you gonna end up where you gonna end up, and I'm gonna do what I do, and I'm gonna end up where I end up. And at the end of the day, we'll see who's happier. And I'm just willing to think I'm probably gonna be that person. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's like I said, I don't know when it changed. I just can't figure out when it changed so drastically. It may have always sort of been that way, but it's very drastic now. Like I can remember, in fact, when I was younger, a lot younger, and TJ, my older brother, and I was more of that dude that got caught in the trap, the box. So I was one of those dudes. While my older brother was very smart and very respected. But it wasn't just like he was respected because he was like maybe one of the only black dudes in his class. You know what I'm saying? But the black dudes that was still just not really giving it 100%, all admired the fact that he was, and he never caught any flack about it. Never, from anyone. And plus, that's the first way to an ass.
But TJ didn't take the flack.
But that's true. But what I'm saying is, even if, well, yeah, he didn't take any flack. But the point is, they respected the fact that, yeah, he's still cool. He's still one of us, and he's up here doing his thing. So we're not going to try and drag him down. We're not going to bother him about that. He's still our friend. But we got to realize that he's on this path, and we chose this path, and there's no need for us to disrespect someone who's doing the right thing.
That's but that's what I usually see, though. I don't usually see people dragging each other down so much from that perspective. I think that it's just
but it's all the perspective that you're in. Because honestly, I know you, I know your brother, and I know what we come from. We have very strong parents, so guess what? Let one of them dudes come say some stuff dumb to us if they want to, and that's fine. But our parents been like, yeah, you do that if you want to, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to kill you. Do that if you want to. Go down that path if you want to. I'm going to jack you up. So, yeah, you hung out with them maybe sometimes, yeah, but there was a line you would not cross. Because I know what Colonel Goodman would do to you. You know what I'm saying?
There was always that line.
There was that line. Yeah, you approached up to it, and TJ may have been here, and you may have been a little bit closer to that line, but there was this line you wasn't going to cross, because you've still been successful and been able to do certain things. And that's because that had a lot to do with the parenting that came through how we were brought up. So that's
a whole different topic. Parenting means a lot.
It's each person's separate walk and what they have behind them that's their support system. Some of the people that we were talking about didn't have a type of support system that we were
But that's probably another topic that we'll have later on. But parenting makes a huge difference in all this. And that could be exactly where the problem began. Once the drugs hit into the neighborhood and you destroyed the family, that's probably where it all began with because that happened soon after integration came crack into black neighborhoods, which probably isn't a big shock to anyone if you really go back and look and study it, because it was just another way to keep everybody on a leash, so to speak.
Well, I'm gonna use this opportunity to go ahead and plug the website again, which is www.blackadvancement.com. I'd like to lead you to the recommended websites. Our favorite one to shout out, Sweetest Affairs. They do everything, bar mitzvahs, birthday parties, weddings, whatever you need. So with that said, we'll be back in the third section right after this. And welcome back to the Black Advancement. We are now on our third question, and as you know, this is a free-for-all, so whoever wants to answer it first can go ahead. Is there any validity to the black middle class having it harder than the lower class of black people? And I'm going to let whoever go into this one.
Wow, that's...
It's a tough question.
Is the black middle class having it harder than the lower middle class?
Is there any validity to it? To someone saying, well, we got it harder than y'all, even though y'all live in, I guess, not poverty, but a much worse economic situation?
Well, there's always been, there's a saying, it's hard to get there, but it's even harder to stay there.
Yeah.
So to speak. So, I mean, you can lose it all.
You can
someone with a bad drinking problem.
Exactly. I mean, that's yeah. I mean, it's just. I mean, wow. That's just tough. I mean, because I understand coming from how hard it is coming from the inner city. Because I didn't have to do it, but I'm very fortunate. I had my grandparents. I talked to them. My parents tell me about it. So while I didn't get to live it, they let me know what the struggle was like and let me know just how good I got it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But even though I'm here, I still, even in the corporate world, I've run up to areas where I'm hitting the wall, can't get past a certain thing, and I know what the reason is behind that. So, and that's what, it's just, which one is worse? I don't think you can classify one as being worse than the other.
I think they're both equally the same struggle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're down and out, I mean, you do have the whole "I've got nothing to lose" mentality for you, but it's extremely hard to dig yourself out of a hole, so to speak. And once you're out of that hole, it's extremely hard
To stay out.
to stay out of the hole. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And I mean, even harder to climb up.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think the workload is about the same. I don't think it's any easier or harder either way. I mean, it may be easier as far as on the come up because there's less responsibilities and you're gaining responsibilities. Once you've made it, you have to maintain responsibilities, and you're not. I don't know. Either way, it's a hell of a work effort. Either way.
Let's go to the guy on the couch for this one. Guy on the couch, what you got, man?
Question number 3, is there any validity to the middle class blacks having it harder than lower class blacks? This response comes from the other black Mike. He says, there is some validity to that argument. If the majority of blacks are lower to lower middle class, then as a middle class black, you're going to be on an island to some degree. Where you live, where your children go to school, the social clubs and activities within convenient reach are comprised mostly of people that look different than you. This again puts you in a situation where you are a representative for your entire race, which means being on your best behavior at all times. Additionally, you have to really be a heavy contributor at your place of employment to get the salary of a middle-class American while being black. The sacrifices associated with this don't need to be spelled out. The point is that your life inside and outside the workplace can become work, with the added burden of being viewed as not black enough for the black community and too black for the others. While trying to juggle all of this, the middle-class black is also expected to reach back and assist the black community. If not, you become the uppity Negro or sellout. I personally believe in reaching back to help those that are receptive to the message. I do believe that lower class blacks have a rough road as well between the actual living situation and the lack of opportunity, whether that's self-inflicted or otherwise. But in the case where someone is living out the low expectations that are placed on blacks due to a lack of effort on their part, I think that this is a much easier life than one filled with high expectations and very little downtime or room for error. The validity of the argument for middle-class blacks having it harder breaks down when you have someone in the lower class that faces the same level of alienation for trying to advance, in my opinion. They have all the same stresses without the creature comforts of middle-class life. Back to you.
Excellent.
Very good point.
That was great. That was from the other Mike, right? The other black Mike. Awesome.
That's right.
Are there any other comments on it?
I mean, like I said, it's not easy for us. It's never going to be easy
You know
for
what? I
us.
think I'm gonna end it on that. It's not easy for us. I
Well,
think
what
that's
about all
it.
that old money?
Huh?
No, we don't have old
We don't
money.
have old money. No. With that being
What
said,
about all those reparations?
no, we don't have those either. No.
Well, damn, you're right.
With all that being said, thank you all for tuning in once again. Like us on Facebook and go to the YouTube, and you can also check out some other ones that we've done, some other roundtables we've done, such as parenting, why should I vote, and also first black president. Thank you, and once again, black people advance. Shout out to Hampton University. Y'all know what it is.
HIU.